G'day guys, Kane here at Bushcraft. I've been working on my Bugout bag. It's taken me a while to make another video since the last one's probably been about a week. I'm really sort of struggling. I've been having a look at other people's Bugout bags and trying to decide what's right for me, my conditions, where I'd go and so forth. Being in the state of Victoria of Australia, if I was going to go bush, well, I do have a lot of bushland around where I live, and there's plenty of places I can go. Most of the Australian bush, in Victoria at least, is certainly not what you see on the Discovery Channel and stuff like that. You don't see arid bushland, arid orange, red ground and stuff like that. It's more your typical gum, eucalyptus forest sort of thing. I will eventually take the camera out to some of the places I do go. For the time being though, I don't like taking the camera out because, one, I don't really feel confident enough to really take the camera out, and I'm worried about damaging if I do go out. So I'm just showing here some items that I have chosen for my kit, for my bag. Now, a lot of these you would have seen in the previous videos. Some things I've added, and a lot of stuff that I've taken out. But for now, I'll just go through some items with you. For starters, starting down the bottom here, I've got pretty much just a drawstring bag. Haven't decided what I'm going to use it for yet, but I know it'll come in handy. Gloves. In any bush environment, if you don't protect your hands, you're bloody nuts. You need to have some sort of hand protection, especially if you're going to be out for a long time. If you do some damage to your hands, get an infection and stuff like that, unless you know how to fix the problem with the infection, you're pretty much screwed. This is my personal survival kit that I made about 3 years ago. This is what I designed all the smaller kits off. This has just got added bits and pieces in it. It's got your typical stuff like your cotton balls, wire saw, mini swabs. These are good for antibacterial, and also they'll help you start a fire. Waterproof matches, needle and thread. That's some pretty strong thread there. That's the best I could get from Spotlight, which is just the textile store in Victoria and stuff like that. So it's very good quality thread. It's very heavy duty, and if I ran out of that thread, I also have some paracord, which I'll show in a minute, which I'll be taking with me along, and I could use the strands out of the paracord. I have a pencil here which has duct tape wrapped around it. Duct tape has 1,000,001 uses. I just finished watching the Mythbusters episode of Duct Tape Island, and I was pretty impressed with some of the things that they were able to do with duct tape, especially making a fire, making a bow drill with duct tape. I thought that was bloody brilliant. So here I've got a little petrol match. As you can see, it just goes in there like that. It's got the striker on the side here. You can just see the flint, see it come off there. So basically, if you put a lot of fluid in there and you strike that, that will light up. So it's well worth having one of these. It was very inexpensive and it has multiple uses, so it's well worth having something like that. Got a little mini wind-up torch, well worth having. This is just a backup torch. I do have another torch. Some more cordage, a couple of safety pins, another fire steel, some glue. I would have spoken in one of my previous videos the use of super glue, being that in the SAS, I saw on a documentary, the SAS soldiers, if they get an open wound, they'll clean it and they'll super glue it back together, which saves having to try and stitch it, and you're less likely to get infections. So, well worth having. Little signalling mirror, obviously not the best, certainly not big enough to be able to do much. It is big enough to be able to check to see if you've got spots, any cuts or anything on your face, if you need to check something out. It's very small, but it does work. A little tiny razor blade. I only have that in there because it was small enough to fit in the kit. Spare compass. Bear in mind that the kit is basically, it's a survival kit for a reason. It's only going to be used if all the other stuff goes missing. So, an extra magnifying glass. Fire starting, obviously. I've got band-aids, another survival kit, which inside the other survival kit seems a bit weird, yes, but it has additional items in there that aren't covered in the rest of the kit, so it's there for a reason. But in any case, it also has some paper if you wanted to write notes and stuff. So that's my little personal one. There's a few things missing out of it because I took some out to fill up some other kits that I was making. So that's that. Alright, moving down, we have, just a second, I'm going to put these knee pads on there. The reason I bought them. Way better. The reason I bought them. Obviously, if you're kneeling down out in the bush and stuff like that, you're going to wear out your knees pretty quickly. Knee pads are a bloody awesome idea to take out there, as far as I'm concerned. And they weigh next to nothing, so as far as I'm concerned, they're worth having. Alright, moving down. So I showed you the gloves. Here I've got 10 metres of picture frame wire. To be made into snares. 10 metres is quite a good amount. I won't need all of it, but I'll take the whole thing with me anyway. Sewing kit. Never hurts to have an extra sewing kit. This here is just the cooking utensils, which will go along with a cooking pot, bowl, and there's also a little measuring cup inside there. Wind-up torch, not currently working because I haven't wound it up properly, but also has the solar panel and has a point to plug into if I wanted to charge my phone or something like that, so it's multi-purpose, worth having, and I don't have to carry batteries. My decent compass I've had since I was about 12, made in Japan. And another item that you should never go in the bush without. So back this way here again, I've got duct tape. Once again, 1,000,001 uses. It's probably one of the things that you can always find a use for in the bush. A couple of containers here. This one here, I'll probably use to make charcoal and cloth. The other one for gathering certain items in, I suppose. Containers are really important, I suppose. I think that it's important to have ways of carrying stuff. This here is just something I got from the cheapo Chinese shop. I know that that sounds rude, but it's just what it is. It's the Chinese shop or an Asian store that's got cheap stuff in it. Now, that, I think, especially if you've set up camp with your big bag and all that sort of stuff and you want to go exploring around your area, something to just carry items if you find anything along the way. Now, it's not very strong, it is likely to break on you, but saves you having to carry a whole heap of items with you, or in your hands. And it was just something that was small enough that I figured it's not going to hurt to take it in my pack anyway. It's not taking up it's taking up next to nothing in the room, weighs next to nothing, and it's fine. Some garbage bags, water collection of trees and stuff like that. So I've got a couple of those. Also, don't leave your rubbish in the bush, so take it with you. Garbage bags. That's a space blanket. It's a big one, well, extra large, and it's a better quality than the ones that you'll find on eBay there. It's a stronger material. Poncho, very thin, not going to last very long. It's an emergency tool. It's an emergency device, obviously, but you can use it for shelter and all that sort of stuff as well. Obviously, you've seen all the videos on YouTube, the uses of all these things already. So I'm basically just going over old ground, but it's something that I add to my kit, so that's why I'm mentioning it. Now, moving down, knife sharpening diamond stones. I'm taking all 3 of them into the bag with me. They weigh next to nothing, and it's always good to have a way to sharpen your knives. This here weighs about 1 kilo. It's a shovel as well as a pick, and I think that it's worth having something like that along. Mainly dig your toilet or anything like that. Also, if you have a tent, it's a good idea to make a trench around the tent so that if it rains, the water's got somewhere to go rather than underneath your tent and soaking everything. So I have here my Leatherman Wave, which will also go in the kit. I chose that over the other multi-tools that I had. Mainly, it's a better quality than some of the other ones that I have, and I'm still not sure what I did with my large Victorinox. If I had my large Victorinox, I probably would take that with me because it weighs less and has more uses. But that's still good for anything I need. I'd use that obviously to make my snares and all that sort of stuff. Now, I'm not going to take the whole packet, but nails always come in handy. I've seen Dave Canterbury use nails for a lot of things, and I've seen a lot of other people on their channels that have found uses for them. So I will take a couple with me, and they will come handy. Your little flask. Yeah, I don't think I need to mention why I take that. Some antibacterial hand sanitizer. I think it's worth taking it with you, even though it's not going to last forever, but still something that hygiene is very important when you're camping and stuff like that. It's sort of one thing that can really be overlooked, but is incredibly important. These are just a cheapo pair of binoculars. I will get a decent pair to put in there, but you never know, they could be useful. I have here some zip ties. Save me having to use rope for a lot of things, save me having to cut my rope as well. So I've got a measuring tape here. I will probably put a proper measuring tape in there, but for the time being, that's in there. I'm sure I can use it for any sort of projects that I do, maybe. Yeah. Okay, so first aid kit. This has just about everything I'd need in there. The only things that I won't find in there is antibiotics and stuff like that. In Australia, you need prescriptions for antibiotics. You can't just get antibiotics over the counter. Some things that I will take to put in the kit though are gastro-stop tablets, which are an anti-diuretic, well worth having. Certainly if you stuff up and drink bad water, you're going to end up sick. Anti-diuretics are worth having with you. Now I've got both of these. I'm not going to take both of them, but I put both of them in there just because I haven't tested them. If anyone's tested them, please let me know which you think would be worth taking. That's obviously two different type of stoves. So this one's an alcohol stove, and that one's the other one there. I can't remember what you call those ones, but I haven't decided which one to take. Both of them weigh about the same. This one has more parts to it and stuff like that, which I suppose can be a con. This one's a lot more compact, will take up less room, so I may take that one with me. I haven't decided yet, so if anyone can leave a comment if they've actually tried both of these and know which one works better, let me know and I'll decide on that. So I showed this in the last one. Obviously containers are very useful for everything. Now I've got a water bottle that goes inside there, as well as a fold-out cup. Obviously there's other things that I can put in there, so just another useful one, mosquito net. Now that's just a head netting. What I have is something out here that I bought from Spotlight. Now, I went to a place called Windcraft, which is one of those textile places, and I bought out of their off-cuts bin some cloth to be able to make bandana, whatever you call them, and char cloth and all that sort of stuff. This is just more of the same sort of stuff. Cotton, so better quality stuff. And here, to replace that small mosquito netting, I have this big stuff here, which is basically the same sort of stuff that you'd use on a curtain or something like that, but it'll make good mosquito netting, so it's worth having, and I will definitely have to add that to the Bugout bag. Mosquitoes in Australia are that bad that you get them all year round, depending on what area you're in. So, yeah, that was a mosquito netting. Now, with these water bottles, I changed them around. I've got this case here is originally for the plastic bottle. I changed it around because I prefer to take the metal one with me, the metal bottle. Has the cup, and it's not going to melt if I use it for near the fire or anything like that. So the plastic bottle I may still take with me, but with this thing here having a little bottle inside it as well, I don't know if there's going to be a need. I think I might be just overdoing it a little. Once again, this is my first attempt at a Bugout bag, so there's a lot of stuff that's missing, and I would definitely like to have some comments on what I am missing and what I should take with me, what you think may not be needed, and all that sort of stuff. So I've got the drink bottles there, and a couple of ferrocerium rods. This ferrocerium rod's the Bear Grylls one, has the whistle on it, so useful. A little billy can. These are the Eco Magics, which I take a whole bag with me. I showed them in the last video, the uses for that. Well worth having. Now, for the time being, this is what I've got as a tarp. It's 1.72 metres by 2.33 metres. It's only a 9 gram tarp, which means that it's not very good quality. As soon as I can afford a better one, I'll take a better one, but for the time being, that's going in the kit. Better to have that than nothing, I suppose. And I can always reinforce it by using that as a base and then building on top of it. So there's that. Now, for the fishing kit, I haven't actually put it in here because I haven't built one up yet that'll go into the bag. So I was going to take the fishing rod that I have, the telescopic rod. I was going to take that, but I just figured that I could probably just make a rod, tie some fishing line to it, and that would probably do me just as good. I've got me little slingshot, which frankly I'm not really allowed to have. So yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to take that with me, so it may have to just stay hidden, but if I was out in the bush, no one's going to see it, and it's certainly an improvement to catch small game and stuff like that with one of these than without one. Now, I've chosen 2 knives. The 2 knives that I've chosen is the Mora. This one here is a carbon steel one. It's only, I think it's about 3.5 inches, 4 inches of the blade, and I've used it a number of times, and frankly I'm really happy with it. I do have another Mora knife, and it's a bigger one, but I'm not really a fan of the handle on that one. Even though this is just a moulded plastic handle, it feels more comfortable than the other one. Now, I still haven't figured out how to pronounce the name of this one. This is Mula Pioneer. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's made in Spain. I've shown it in a couple of other videos, and It's a very good quality knife. It's still stainless steel, but it's very heavy. It's where did I put it? There we go. It's got a 4mm width of the back edge of the blade, and it's got quite a nice weight to it. It would be perfect for batoning. Obviously, if I didn't have my axe on hand, which I do plan on taking my axe with me, that would come in handy. So I'll take that with me anyway. Always good to have a spare knife with you. So I've shown my tomahawk in a previous video, and that will come with me. I chose that one over the kukiri and the machete, mainly for it being compact, and I'm less likely to get in trouble off the cops if I'm carrying that than the big machete that I've got. So I'll take that one instead. Now, in the last video I showed some water bags. This one here. This is a 5 litre compact foldable water carrier. Yeah, not bad, I suppose. It feels flimsy. It feels like it would get a hole in it if I sat it on the ground. So I don't really think that's going to be any good for long-term bush use. This one here is a 10 litre heavy duty water pouch, bag, whatever you call it, foldable. It's compact a lot more than the 5 litre one. It actually compacts a lot better. It's made from a stronger material, and I think that it's worth having something like that, especially if you find a water source that's not close enough to your camp that you can just constantly get the water. Having something like that, you can get a whole heap of water disinfected at your camp rather than going backwards and forwards. I find that well worth having. I've got here my little yabby net. Just about everywhere in Australia you'll get yabbies, which in America you call them crawdads and freshwater crayfish and all that sort of stuff. We call them yabbies. They're tasty and easy to catch. This here will do all the catching for me, so I don't have to do the work. I can be doing other things while this thing catches the yabbies for me. So, food supply. Now the bag, I chose the big one out of all of them. I showed that before. Now it's got pockets galore. Every single pocket has other pockets in it. So it's just easy for organisation and all that sort of stuff. You can put everything in its proper place. You're not going to lose anything. It has a pouch on the side here that's supposed to be for a laptop, and I have used it for my laptop. It works really well. If I do get a solar panel big enough that I can actually take the laptop with me, I may decide to take the laptop with me, but that's extra weight and I don't think I'd bother. I'm not going to get any internet out in the bush, so that's just a stupid thing for me to say anyway. But anyway, that flat part there, good for carrying things like the tarp and the yabby net and all that sort of stuff, which is flat, lies flat, and yeah. Okay, so we've got the big pocket, which has yet another pocket in the front, in the back of it, sorry. That's going to carry most of the bulk of those items, and once again it's just got pockets galore. I've even got a set of earplugs in there, so yeah. Anyway, that's the one I chose. It's a very heavy duty bag. I paid about $100 for it. No, I didn't. I paid about $50 for it. It was on special at a motorbike outlet. Basically, yeah, used on the motorbike. And last couple of items, I haven't decided yet whether I'll take it or not, but there's the dome tent, 2-person tent, very lightweight, only weighs about probably a kilo, maybe a bit over a kilo, and folds out. It comes out at a decent size. It doesn't weigh all that much. Haven't figured out where I'd store it, probably underneath or something like that, but I'll take it with me anyway. And just a little cheapo sleeping bag. Now, I will get a better sleeping bag eventually, but I only paid, I think, 12 bucks for this one here, and being that if you wet, it's a 12-degree sleeping bag. Oh, sorry, yeah, goes down to 12 degrees centigrade. You'll still be comfortable in this. More so, not going to be much good for winter, but it will certainly do you in autumn and spring and summer and stuff like that. If you're wearing your clothes in winter and you're in your sleeping bag, you should be alright. Ballarat winters here get to, I think it was -10 last year, centigrade. So it does get quite cold, but if you plan it out properly, if you're wearing the right clothes and stuff like that, you should be fine. A few things to note that I've certainly missed is toiletries. Once again, hygiene is very important. So I definitely need to add a toiletries bag to here. Also extra clothing and stuff like that, and food. Now, I haven't added food specifically because I haven't decided what foods to take. I do make my own beef jerky, and I will take some of that, but also things like dried fruits and stuff like that will have to come in there, come into the. I'll have to figure out what sort of foods to take. So I haven't decided yet. So if there's anything I've missed, please feel free to comment and let me know what you think of what I've got so far, what you think I need, and yeah, anything you think that may be a little bit overkill, let me know as well. So yeah, thanks for watching. This is Cameron at Oz Bushcraft, and have a good one. See ya.